everything.
Right.
Just 15 years ago, nobody stored things.
Right.
You have storage buildings. You have storage buildings everywhere.
I know.
You have climate control storage buildings.
I know.
You know, it's like a $32 billion a year industry now.
Crazy.
And it was unheard of 15 years
Right.
ago. What did you store for? I mean, you may clutter your garage, but you didn't go pay money to store stuff that you're not going to use. We have been taught to hold on.
Mm-hmm.
And this may be what Paul meant by, you're not rightly discerning the body.
Right.
So you're sick and afflicted.
Right.
So we're hoarding the stuff, we're holding on. And it's an outward manifestation of what human beings are doing internally.
Right, absolutely.
And we're getting sick from it.
Right.
But not me anymore, I chose not to.
Right.
Because that's today, I'm just letting stuff go.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
It's just, I don't know, because I'm kind of on the same, I'm really on the same page with you. But for me, especially with what I'm going to do, start traveling with the Celebrated Journey, stuff just doesn't, I walk into the store and I see things that I would be like, oh, that's so awesome, we're going to have it. And I'm like, I don't need this stuff anymore. There's I don't need closets full of clothes anymore. I don't want closets full of clothes anymore.
I know what you're talking about.
I just don't. It's so freeing.
Mm-hmm.
It's really freeing. And I was able to clean out my closet. It was a couple of weeks ago, and I'd gone to Plato's Closet to see if I could, make some money off of it.
Yeah.
And because they found a dog here, they wouldn't look in the bag anymore. One dog here. I don't even have a dog, so who knows. Anyways, so there was a woman there that was trying to clothe her foster kids that had just come in to their same exact size, everything, these girls,
awesome.
The clothes, 2 big bags. I was like, well, that's what it's meant for.
That's why I came here.
That's why I came here. It wasn't about me getting money. Yes, thank you, Plato. But yes, and so those girls walked away with dozens of outfits, dozens.
That's
and
amazing.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
The money will come. It's not
Yeah.
just do what you're supposed to do, and all the rest shows up.
Yeah. Well, when you live with the currency,
Yes.
spiritual currency, and you're rich there.
Yes.
When you understand it, that's real abundance.
Mm-hmm.
That it's not the bottom line in a bank account. Or
Right.
it's not clothing. I did the same thing
Right.
just the other day. The more, and this is what's happening with me too, and I'll be honest with you, but not as if everything was
Right.
Don't you love when somebody says that? I'll be honest with you right now. What the heck was the last 30 minutes? What were we doing? And when they all looked out, like what are we doing? I don't understand. But in full transparency.
Yes.
The deeper the relationship between myself and the universe and spirit.
Yes.
God, source, ground of being, as Meister Eckhart called it. The more that relationship happens for me, the less I want to talk.
Right.
And the less stuff I want.
Right.
And yet I find myself here talking with you. But I just mean, I used to actually, as a preacher, I started preaching 28 years ago. And as a preacher, I used to really love to hear myself talk.
Right.
Now I just don't.
Yeah.
My voice almost irritates me sometimes. Anyway, because it's about experience, not explanation.
Right.
Yet I feel compelled to share with people the freedom of this.
Mm-hmm.
But the same is true for clothes. I know now why people like Gita Murty, Paramahansa Yogananda, Wayne Dyer even.
Mm-hmm.
You watch their wardrobe, everything becomes more plain
Yes.
and just
Yes.
relaxed
Yes.
and comfortable. Yes,
Comfortable.
that becomes the measuring stick. Like that's the litmus test for
Right.
the clothes you want to buy. Is it going to be comfortable?
Right.
I really don't give a shit what it looks like.
Right.
Is it going to be comfortable?
It,
And I'm really finding myself like I was looking through my closet going, I don't need all this crap.
Right.
Like, if I could get a smock for, just like
Yes.
a linen shirt and linen pants for every day of the week,
yes.
I would do
Awesome.
it.
Yes.
This is one of the reasons that many Buddhist monks wear what they wear.
Yes.
Now,
So
people
cool.
say, well, they stand out more wearing that stuff. But the reason it started
yeah.
was because the point was that to not make things the point.
Absolutely.
But you know what? Until you reach that.
Yes, and not everybody's there, and that's okay.
Yes.
But when and if you do get there, it's a whole new world, and it's just so freeing and so beautiful. You know, it's the things that are known in our five senses are not as important anymore. You want, you know, it's like, okay, that's a thing, that's great, but this, the universe and source and creating and spreading a message to people to change their lives is far more important than things to me.
And just talking about all of it, it's like you start losing. My daughter was saying to me the other day, she said, well, Dad, because she's this particular daughter of mine, and she's the meditator in the family. She's the one, and I meditate as well, but like she has really, become very, very in tune over the last year and a half, 2 years. And she was saying something about, we were having lunch, and she was saying something about one of her friends. And she said, Dad, I want to give her advice, but I just don't know what to say to her because of such and such and such and such. And I walked it back. I said, why would you want to add to her vices?
Right.
And she said, what? I said, you said you want to give her advice. Well, why would you want to add to her vices?
Yes.
She said, what? And she went, I get it. She said, oh, if the answer's not there, I don't need to share it because it apparently didn't come to me.
Right.
So, if you were in a space where someone says, hey, this is X, Y, Z, can you tell me how to get out of it?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is not immediate, then it wasn't for you to share.
Share, absolutely.
Or it's a wait. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't try to just make something up.
Right.
You know, we're almost taught that, especially preachers. You're taught to make stuff up. You get a pulpit, there's an expectation.
You have to have an answer for everything.
When I don't have something on a Sunday morning with our community, we just meditate.
Right. There you go.
It's the best medication in the world.
Absolutely.
Why do I need to talk? And typically in any given meditation, there'll be a few little things that will come out during the meditation, during the guided meditation. And sometimes it'll flow out and it'll be, oh, okay, well that worked.
Right.
But you start to realize that you're being done. You're doing less and getting more done.
Right.
Because you're doing less. It's surrendered. It's allowed. It's simple.
Yes.
And it's not trying to come up with some kind of a great speech that you hope is going to actually change the world. You lose the need to change the world. You only have the desire to change you.
Yes. Absolutely.
And you begin to recognize you're the rascal that can't do that. So you surrender to God.
Yes. Absolutely.
Really cool.
Yes.
The biggest ego trip going is people trying to get rid of their ego.
Right.
Because somebody told me the other day, they said, I really need to improve myself. I said, oh, you do? He said, I really need to improve myself. I said, now how are you going to do that? Well, X, Y, Z. I said, oh, wait a minute. So let me get this right. The one who needs improving is going to improve that one.
Right.
And they said, what? That's what you just told me. You need to improve. But you're going to be the one doing it?
Right.
I don't understand.
That's not right.
Yeah. So what part of you are you going to improve? And then is that only? So let's just say, for instance, let's say the plumbing needs to be done, but you're an electrician and you don't know plumbing.
Right.
When you get done with the electricity that didn't need fixing to start with, the plumbing's still going to be out. You should have a plumber, right? So this self-improvement thing is almost egotistical too.
Yes.
It's being in a space of non-judgment and allowing that you lose the need to improve.
Yes.
And ironically, it happens.
Do. Yes.
And then it happens.
Yes.
It's back to surrender for me.
Yes. It is, and it's the part where when you're going through life, so many times you're supposed to just turn over in the raft and float downstream, right? Mm-hmm. You're just supposed to go with the flow. And there'll be rapids, there'll be stuff like that, but the minute you turn over in that raft and you start swimming back upstream because maybe you thought, oh, I forgot to get this or I forgot to get that, not trusting that the stream's going to have everything you need as you flow down it. Mm-hmm. You never have to go back upstream. You just go with the flow. Yeah. And you see and you watch and everything and you relax and knowing that whatever changes need to take place, it'll happen. It'll do.
Yes.
There's no stress, there's no any of that, and I love that.
And I understand that change happens. Mm-hmm. And people will say, what do you mean there's no stress? I'm experiencing stress right now. Well, I understand the feeling of that. I've certainly been there.
Mm-hmm.
But if I asked you to go bottle up some stress and bring it back to me, could you do it?
Right.
So essentially, it's not a thing, right?
Right.
It's not a thing. Well, yes, but it's affecting me. Right. Whatever it is
Right.
affecting you and possibly infecting you. Okay.
Yes.
But it's not a thing. So what do we need to do to work on it? First of all, we recognize it's not a thing. So
Yes.
this is an energy because everything is. Now, how do we then figure out how this energy can be useful? Instead of trying to get rid of it, how can it be useful? It's like
Yes.
electricity. Electricity can kill you.
Yes. But how do we harness it and use it? Yes. Absolutely.
And the same is true for stress because it's energy.
Right.
So instead of trying to cast it out, why don't we figure out how to conduit in?
Right.
You know, cast it out in Jesus' name, or conduit in.
Right.
You know, it's like people want to cast out darkness. Why? Because you want a perpetual day?
Right. Right.
Then there's no rest.
Right.
You need night,
You got to have
and
that.
night gives birth to day, and day gives birth to night.
Yes.
It happens in the cycle. That's just the way this
Yes.
particular incarnation works. And so you begin, again, this brings you to a place where you start to live from a space of gratitude
Yes.
for everything.
Everything.
And when you're grateful for what you have, you make room for more of that to come
Right.
because you have an attitude of gratitude.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
gratitude, I think, will also lead us to let go. So I have a few practices, right? First of all, I believe love is the force.
Yes.
But my practices are letting go, allowing, gratitude,
Yes.
letting go,
Allowing gratitude.
Gratitude.
Absolutely.
And those three things make up non-judgment.
Yes.
You know, just
Yes.
it is what it is.
And realizing that everybody's on their own journey, wherever they are. That's whether whether you were there before or not. It's not your journey to judge. It's their journey, and love them through their journey and wherever they are.
Yeah.
Religiously or whatever people judge people about. Because I'm so not that. It's hard for me when people like talk about racism or sexual orientation or whatever. I'm like, wow, that's everybody's. There's a journey. Just let them enjoy their journey without your. Doesn't mean you're gonna paddle down the same stream with them. Maybe not. That's okay.
Fine. Don't.
Yeah, don't. It's okay, but let them on their journey.
Well, speaking of that sexual orientation, people, that's still a big deal
Yes.
in our world, and especially if you're a minister and they want to nail you to the wall.
So
And my response to that is that this is funny because with Christians, this seems to really kind of get me past the conversation fairly quickly. I said, I don't judge anyone after the flesh anymore, but after the spirit.
Yes.
They said, what? What do you mean you don't judge anyone? I said, I don't judge anyone after the flesh, but after the spirit.
Yeah.
And they kind of don't know what to,
Yeah.
because in Colossians 3:11, there's
Right.
neither male nor female. So if
Right.
there's no male or female in Christ, then there's no gay or straight.
Absolutely.
I just see it the way God does.
Yes.
I hope that you'll be able to, so.
Yes.
And just walk away from it. Or so you're pro-gays? No, I'm not pro or negative.
Right. Nor am I
I'm
pro-heterosexual or negative or nor am I, any of those things.
They're
I'm
divine
just-
beings.
Yes.
Those are all labels.
Right.
And you choose which label you want, and labels
Right.
are typically created for the purpose of liability.
It's
Thank
all
you
about-
again for visiting my celebrated journey, Love Always Wins videos, where love in action is the source of all miracles. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell button for notification on new videos. Love y'all. Be the change you want to see in the world. Bye-bye now.